start the topic narrative essays for the standard 9 unit 7, brought to you by Asif sir. Let's study in detail about the narrative essays, its compositions and composition. An important topic from the composition point of view. We have so many other types of composition. For example, descriptive, debate, story writing, and picture compositions. All are having their methods and all relates with the different topics. So as ICSE gives us choice for the composition, the one which we are about to study, that is narrative. After learning this, you will find it out that this one will be the most easiest way to compose with the help of narrative. So here, when we will go through these topics, you will understand that what type of topics the narrative composition deals with and how to compose and score better marks in the composition writing. Hopefully, it will help you to compose in a better way. So, narrative composition is not a new topic for us because we may be dealing with this topic from past many years. And in English paper, that's in language paper, it is one of the most common composition. And it can be asked according to the standards, and we can make use the narrative compositions in the different forms or the some other forms. Now narrative composition, if you take a look at this, narrate means to relate. So the word itself will give you a hint that you have to relate something regarding the topic. But mainly talking about narration is mainly the composition of a story, but the story of its own, or it can be a story of an account of a sequence of actions. It means the sequence of actions that we have faced in our life, or it can have the topic about the best experience of your life, or narrate the incident of your first day of your school. So it is in short a form of story, but the topics may be different. Sometimes we may be asked to narrate some typical incident illustrating person's characters. Now we may be knowing that sometimes a narrative compositions can be asked to state a person's characters. This is just like drawing a character sketch. And further, if you develop in a better way with the good vocabulary and the sentences, your readers will enjoy your narration. But most probably, if it is drawn or taken from the incident you have experienced, because experienced examples are fresh in our mind and we can elaborate in a better way rather than imaginative experiences. So sometimes the real experiences can help us to narrate any story in a better way, because the reader will like this story or they will appreciate a narrative composition if it is honestly told, rather than exaggerating or rather than putting up the things which are not related to the life, which will look very out of the world to the reader, will not be appreciated. But on the other hand, if it is true to life or it is honestly told, they will be appreciated, they will be liked by the reader. So what we should focus in the narrative composition is these points. You have to relate in a better way. Okay, so here are some hints for you that if you want to compose the narrative essays or compositions, which things we should be kept in mind. What ingredients do we require to compose a narrative composition? First thing, an interesting incident. Before choosing, make sure that you had an interesting incident of the topic, or if you want to compose, you need to have an interesting incident to be written. Second point, you need to have some characters, or you need to know how to characterization of the particular characters, and if you are very good in that, it can be the best one. Further, you need to have a suitable background. Okay, and in that we can have a hospital, a shop, a farm, or a factory, a school, or a home, or any other related things or the places for the suitable background can be selected. Next point to be kept in mind, that is a dialogue and language. The dialogue which you are about to put in the narrative composition has to be carefully selected. The language and the grammatical part has to be selected precisely. So the effect of your background, the effect of your characterizations, the effect of your interesting incidents will bring the lots of effect onto the reader's mind. And the last point you need to focus, that is a particular mood or aim. Example, an incident may be humorous, sad, or frightening, or of educational value. In between need to have some type of mood, so we can add some humorous events in that, we can add some frightening or a scary events, or some of the educational value points can also be included. These are the ingredients or materials specifically required for the narrative compositions. But while accepting these all points, something we should keep in mind in order to make it a very proofful or the best one. So there are some points you need to note it down before beginning to write. First point, to keep to the order. You need to follow the order. Example, if you have selected a best incident and you wanted to compose a narrative essay on that best incident, you need to keep the order. This means how the events have occurred, accordingly you have to place them one by one. So they are supposed to be added according to the beginning, then middle and end. And if you do not follow this chronology, it will not have the good effect. So having only the best story or incident will never make the essay the best one. So we need to follow this order in a better way. And there can be variations as far as this point is concerned. So this is the first point. You need to keep it in mind before jotting down